but we there. Every game we there, from on field to everywhere. Premier League we say, Reds is the only way. For me, for you. We chat football, eh. We chat football, eh.
Hey guys, welcome to We Chat Football. Welcome to the Tuesday morning stream. Over the top. Yes, over the top, where we take a look at some of the content that has been going on around the YouTube spaces, some of the takes. Not really gonna break down anybody's videos or anything like that. Just gonna talk about some of the topics that I've seen people talking about, like going over the top about this weekend, about which team and which club is dead before match week, from match week one, and for which club it's just the first match week, so they get a pass. You know what? Let's kick it off because it's gonna be a short show, just a half an hour show. Not gonna go on for long. Big up, my friend Danaka. What happened, man? What happened? What happened with that result against Fulham? I thought you had that one in the bag. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I thought you had that one in the bag, man. What's up? And Kyle with the Sunderland to win the Prem. Could be, could be. Let's see. But you know what? Where I want to kick things off is I want to kick things off with the Arsenal Manchester United game. That's where I want to kick things off with because a lot of people are going over the top on that one. It's like Arsenal is dead. Arsenal is not. They lose it. Arsenal is hasn't progressed since last season. And to be fair, what? Okay, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Yeah, sorry about that. And while that is fair that Arsenal um, struggled at the start against Manchester United, it's 1-0. It's the first game of the season. It's one of them how Arteta always set up. And yeah, and that's fair enough. Like for that, like I said, like he hates both, so he doesn't know who to set up. But for example, Arteta always go into these games and play them with caution because he doesn't want to lose against the top six. So he's either away, you pick up a point, you pick up a draw, a win is a bonus. That's what happens when they play away in big games. So I don't see where the meltdown is happening from. Yes, I understand. For me personally, looked at the game and I'm like, you know what? Arsenal struggled to get Gyökeres into the game, but at the same time, it's the first game of the season. It's you can only get better from here. So while the season progresses, while the season gets better, yes, he's gonna find a way to get Gyökeres into the game. Yes, he's gonna find a way to get Arsenal scoring again. But it's like, okay then, let's go to Old Trafford, first game of the season. Let's not lose. Let's pick up a point. Let's get out of there. We pick up a 3 points, good. It's a first game. Like we can't have a meltdown over the first game that Arteta is Arsenal is not going to win the league, even though before a ball was kicked this season, my prediction that they could miss out on top four, and that's due to what other clubs have done, not pretty much how Arsenal will play. So the 3 points at Manchester United for me, it's massive. And again, it's the first game of the season. Can't go melting down over the first game of the season because a lot of teams are just coming back out of preseason. Manchester United have a lot to prove in that game. Arsenal is let's get over this one and let's smash the teams that are below us, and then the teams that are in and around the title. Let's just try to hold on for a point or something when we go away. When they come visit us, then we go out and play and try to beat them. But I think that's the way that most big clubs approach playing against their rivals at that point in time. Ye- Yeah, I think he's gonna get sacked. I have him getting sacked this season as well. And again, as I said, it's due to the fact that I just believe that there's a lot of other clubs that are going to win stuff, and he might miss out on a lot of big trophies. Like for example, for top four, I have like Liverpool, um, City, Chelsea, and I have Tottenham sneaking in the top four because I just believe that there's less pressure on Tottenham and they're going to play a little bit freer on the Thomas Frank, and that could get them in the top four. I just believe that the pressure might get to Arteta, and he might not push them into the top four. But again, I don't see why the meltdown is in that game. Yes, I feel United half chances could have ended up in the back of the net, and that would have made the game a lot more interesting for neutrals. But if you're a what do you call it? If you're an Arsenal fan, 1-0 away, smash and grab, however you want to take it, first game of the season, take it and run. Um, looking back at the game on Friday with the Liverpool versus Bournemouth, again for me is the first game of this of the season. For me right now, it's all about picking up the points rather than how we play. So 3 points is more important than the style of play at this point. Even though we looked open. We look open like a book in that first game, but we have the firepower that got us over the line. And maybe that's the thing that everybody's looking at is that Arsenal wasn't able to get their firepower in check, but Liverpool smashed 4 goals, got us over the line. Again, we can start judging how the team perform after, say, match week 5 or 6 or something like that, when the mentality of the players and the mentality of the managers like got a switch and they're now switched over to Premier League mode, and then they can kick on, and then they can push, and then they can um, deliver more better performances. So yeah, and that kind of stuff. This is one more because for Arteta is that he got his 2 players in every position, so he has no reason to fail. Yes, he got the 2 players. He got the players without a doubt. He got the players, but even getting the players, sometime it is the quality of the players that he gets. And when you're looking around the league, the quality sometimes is not the greatest. And again, you guys have to change the style of play to fit the likes of Gyökeres in that, and that will happen throughout the season. Hopefully, if it doesn't happen throughout the season, then I think you guys will be cooked. I would say if that doesn't happen throughout the season, but it will. And again, it's the same thing I have for Liverpool as well. We're changing the style of play, like what we played last season. Last season, a lot of the creativity came down from the right. A lot of the creativity came from Trent. A lot of the creativity came from Mo Salah as well. Now we're trying to change that up a bit, where most of the creativity is coming from in the middle of the park. So with that coming from the middle of the park, it will take a bit of time for the players to get used to the system, for the players to push, for the players to adapt and start dominating more, play to the highest level that they need to play and push on. So I'm just thinking that there's just a lot of overreaction that's happening for the first week. It was there some exciting games? Yes. The Liverpool Bournemouth game was exciting for a neutral, exciting for us as Liverpool fans. How much of those we can deal with for the rest of the season from a fan's perspective? Not a lot. Like, we can't keep going into these games winning 4-2 on a mad shootout um, settings. So yeah, we need to fix up on that front. But outside of that, we it's the first week of the season. Manchester United, not Manchester United, sorry, Manchester City looks good in their first game. Haaland looks like he's up for it. Looks like he's ready to go fighting for the golden boot again. Looks like he's ready to take it off whoever has it. He showed up, put 2 goals in, um, 2 nice goals. Back at 4-0, Manchester City winning against Wolves 4-0, which again was expected. It was expected. The performance looked okay. They're not fully clicked into gear as yet, but again, as I said, reasons being is that it's the first game after preseason. Everybody's coming back in. Everybody's trying to get used to the pace of the league again. So due to that, you can't read too much into these games. But Manchester City look good. Haaland looked sharp. Haaland looked like he's coming back for that golden boot because he's realizing that there is a lot of competition in the league this season for who to win the golden boot. Which again, if Arsenal can get Gyökeres up to speed running, if Ekitike can start taking his chances, or if Liverpool bring over Isak, there's a lot of competition for the golden boot this season, and he knows that he has to hit the ground running right away. So that's what he did. Um, Rangers look like a baller in midfield. I am kind of like looking forward to see that combination in midfield when you have the likes of Reinders, Rodri, and Sharky playing in that midfield. It's gonna be they're gonna run right in that midfield. So Arlen's gonna eat this season, and he's gonna be well fed. So we'll see. We'll see how that works going forward this season. But it's gonna be an exciting season. Very, very, very exciting season for the Premier League. As I think it might be one of the best with the top half of the league, and with the bottom half of the league. The games against the bottom half teams will be tighter. The games with the bottom half teams will be more excited as well. But I think there might be a massive gap between the top and the bottom half of the league this season due to the fact of the quality at the top and some of the qualities missing from the bottom half of the league. Um, the Spurs game, Spurs smashed Burnley 3-0, which was expected. I mean, if Spurs had lost that game or draw that game, I think everybody would have eyes on Spurs asking what's happening. But you know what? Spurs went in, did the business. Um, Burnley look okay, but I don't think that they set up properly. I think they should have set up like try to keep the score tight for the most part. Try to keep it as tight as possible. While Tottenham got frustrated, then tried to hit them on the counters, tried to break them down, but I think they just went in too much too early, trying to get on the Tottenham skin, trying to play their way of football, which again doesn't work. So they get smashed 3-0 with two beautiful goals from Richarlison. Like the goals that Richarlison scored was exceptional. One of them, I think, is going to become maybe goal of the season if nobody does anything. And that's crazy that the goal of the season could be scored in the first week of the season. But that's what it's like. Um, Another exciting game is Sunderland beating West Ham, which I think that West Ham is in real danger this season, like real danger, and that's not even funny. Like how bad West Ham might be this season is that Sunderland beat them 3-0, and it wasn't even hard. I don't know if it's the coach. I don't know if it's the the um the setup at West Ham. I don't know if it's the players. I don't know if the players don't want to be there anymore. But West Ham could be in real trouble to get it relegated this season, which I have them as one of my favorites to get relegated if nothing changed before the transfer window end. That West Ham could get relegated. And again, am I going over the top? Could be. Could be going over the top with the whole West Ham relegation because there's still a couple days leave in the transfer window. So, I mean, yes, they can get signings in. They can fix a lot of the problems that they're having in their squad. But it looks peak for West Ham. It really looks peak for West Ham. Chelsea, Crystal Palace. I watched that game. I've seen for the first time ever the rule get implemented by VAR and they overturned decision for the free kick. Correct decision. The problem is that we have seen them given before. So I was watching the game on mute, so I wasn't able to hear why the goal wasn't given. And I was like, okay, I can't say anything wrong. There was no foul, there's nothing. But the fact is that Gay he was too close to the wall. The goal got disallowed. Really wonderful free kick from Eze. A really good free kick that went in, and I think it deserved the goal. But the referee said no. blow off a game. That game was a snore fest. To be fair, it was just Crystal Palace went not to lose and try to nick it and try to get 3 points out of the game. They went to Chelsea, didn't lose. Massive point for Crystal Palace in this game. Massive and massive 2 points dropped from Chelsea in this game. If they want to challenge for the top four and stuff and all that stuff, because I think that there's going to be so much teams in and around that conversation of challenging for the top four that I think Chelsea needed this win in the first game of the season. But it's a draw. Season is long. They still have 37 games here from here going in. So no overreacting from here. It's just one of them that Chelsea would have preferred to get a 3 points on the opening day of the season instead of a draw. We see Nottingham Forest going in smashing Brentford. Brentford look like they're going down. Without a doubt, Brentford look like they're going down. So on the opening day of the season, if we wanted to go over the top and pick two teams that we think that's gonna be going down, no return, I think those two teams would be West Ham and Brentford. Brentford looks bad. And I don't know if it's the manager doesn't know how to set up the team or is the players can't adapt themselves to the setup. But yeah, they look absolutely atrocious. Brentford. And I can't understand why. Like, yes, they lost a bunch of players. Yes, what was it? The two strikers that went, a midfielder that went, but and maybe a defender. But they had these players in the squad that was a part of the squad last season, and some of these the players like again like I forgot the defender name that came in from Liverpool that was a part of the defense. He looked good when he was playing for Liverpool. Again, another young prospect. It could take him for the rest of a couple of games to kick into gear and stuff. Yeah, Brentford needs a coach, as they do, but we'll see if the new coach that they hire can keep them up. I think Brentford is not scared of getting relegated, to be fair. So I don't think that they'll make any rash or harsh decision right away because I think they're not scared because the squad that Brentford have is on the lower end of the wages. So therefore, even if they get relegated, a lot of these players are good enough in the championship to get them back up right away. So I don't think they're scared of being relegated. But yeah, they do experiment a lot in the Premier League. Um, the signings, though, I think they need to push some more, get some more signings in the attacking area. The fact that they're trying to keep Wisa, but Wisa doesn't want to stay, he wants to leave. That's another problem again. I think they should just cash in on Wisa, bring in somebody else in the Brentford team and see how that go. They need a proper coach, yes, but I am not writing off the coach just as yet. It's the first game. They look wide open. If he can adjust, if he can figure out how to navigate for the rest of the season to get them to stay above the relegation zone, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be extremely tough staying afloat this season with the fact that Leeds, we see on yesterday, Leeds took a 1-0 win over Everton. And for Leeds, that's a massive 3 points. Massive, massive 3 points for Leeds going into the season. Um, I think that's their biggest mistake is signing Jordan Henderson. That's just my thing. Yeah, like, why go sign Jordan Henderson at this stage? At this stage, that sounds more desperation than anything else. Signing Jordan Henderson when you could actually go pick up a better player somewhere else that can help you out better than Jordan Henderson. So signing Jordan Henderson for Brentford was like a mistake. Yeah, and didn't get to watch a Leeds game, but Leeds hit Everton late with a winner. So that's 3 points for Leeds. That's kind of get them closer to safety. If we're being fair, because what they need about 10 wins and a few draws and they're safe. So yeah, it's a good opening day. to be fair, opening day is good. Looks really good for a lot of the teams that got promoted. Try to gloss over the Aston Villa Newcastle game because Villa haven't signed anybody much, and Newcastle doesn't have a striker. Newcastle should have won the game from some of the chances that they created, especially that one-on-one with the dude that they just bought from Nottingham Forest. That he should have just pass it to just pass it, and they scored. But instead, he shoot it right at the goalkeeper. Again, Newcastle need a striker. Isak doesn't want to play for them anymore. They need to go out in the market and get a striker. Problem is, they have known this problem since the start of the transfer window. So many players, so many strikers have moved that Newcastle should have got, but didn't get. And for that, now they're heading into the last couple of weeks of the transfer market. Everybody knowing that they need a striker, and all the good strikers are off the market right now. And that's a problem that Newcastle find themselves in. Is either the people upstairs is not working properly. It's at no point you should be in this season going right now, even if you didn't find your first choice striker, but you have not found a replacement for Callum Wilson, which is mad. Like you're this far in the season and you haven't found a replacement for Callum Wilson, much less find a replacement for Isak. So everybody who is on that board should be all sacked because that's dreadful that you're this late in the window and you haven't signed a backup, not even a backup striker yet. I mean, Darwin Nunes was for sale. Could have got Darwin Nunes, but hey, we move. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, coming up next for match week 2, we have West Ham hosting Chelsea. Not sure how that is going to work out. Chelsea could pick up their first win. They could pick up their first win of the campaign if they beat West Ham. West Ham can shock us and deliver a result against Chelsea. Who knows? But I'm seeing a Chelsea win there. City versus Spurs. Now, this is an interesting game on Saturday because we know that Spurs is like a bogey team for Manchester City. Doesn't matter their manager, they're like a bogey team. So we'll see how Spurs perform against Manchester City. That's a good test right there. We have Bournemouth going to Wolves, which is 3-pointer for both teams because both teams need the point. We have Brentford hosting Aston Villa, where I think Unai Emery is going to go all out trying to win this game. Let's see if Brentford can bounce back, yes or no. We have Burnley Sunderland. Sunderland looks like they did good business. Burnley look like they're playing really well. But again, they just right approach, wrong team, I think, for Spurs. So let's see how they turn around that against Sunderland. If Sunderland win again, then that's massive. Arsenal playing Leeds. Did not get to see the Leeds game on yesterday. Did not get to watch a Leeds game, so I'm not sure how Leeds play. But this is an interesting one that I really want to watch, is the Arsenal versus Leeds game, because I want to see how Arsenal play in this game. And then on Sunday, we have Crystal Palace playing Nottingham Forest. Again, Crystal Palace is just trying to make sure that they get enough points. So therefore, when the European league starts, we'll see how that turns out for them, I think. Everton versus Brighton. Brighton with the win, because I can't stand Everton. And I think Brighton needs to bounce back from that draw from against Fulham. And then Fulham goes to Manchester United host Fulham. Manchester United looked good against Arsenal. Manchester United looked good against Arsenal last season. But when they play against these teams, the Fulhams, the mid-table teams to the lower half of the Premier League teams, then they struggle a lot. So we'll see how that game work out. I think it could be a draw, and I think Fulham could win, which could send the fan base into a meltdown. But again, if Manchester United win this game, I would not be surprised, because with the firepower that they have against Arsenal, but again, a lot of the game that they played against Arsenal, they were playing in the transition. So they were hitting Arsenal on counter-attacks, which is interesting, but it doesn't kind of show how they're going to play against a team like Fulham, who's going to turn around and give them the ball to play with and try to hit them on the counter. So we'll see how that works out. And then we have Newcastle up against Liverpool on Monday. I don't know if we're going to get Isak by then. I am hoping we do. But I know he won't be playing in that game. But I know that's going to be like a very hostile environment right now due to the fact that we're trying to get Isak out of Newcastle. Yeah. So yeah, that's the games over the weekend. That's coming up this weekend that we're really looking forward to. And yeah, the other thing though is that our fantasy league is here. It's flashing on the screen. You can join the fantasy league. Fantasy league is fun. The Friday show, I'm going to put up the leaderboards on the Friday show for that week. So I have the match week one. So it wouldn't involve the games I played on Friday. It would just involve the games I played before. I'm working on the leaderboard, and then the leaderboard will show up, and you'll see who is in the lead from match day one, and then we take a look at it on match day two again. Anyways, people, big up. Thanks for joining the stream. We're live again Friday night for Friday Vibes. Come out, have a vibe with us on Friday where we break down the games coming up over the weekend a lot more. All right, peace. Catch you on the other one.
Oh, eh, oh. I say Liverpool, we there. Every game we there. From Anfield to everywhere. Premier League, we say. Our Reds is the only way. For me, for you. We chat football, We chat football, Liverpool, we there.